Welcome back. Welcome back to not just another episode. It is another season in Lounge 11. We've been renewed. Samco, we've been renewed for season 2.
Renewed. We've been renewed, champ. The champs are here. The champs are here.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
renewed us for season
season.
2, man. After a, very exciting season 1, very successful season 1 as far as our team was concerned. And even the work that we did had a lot of fun. We went to see a couple of games last year. So, and then we were crowned champions. So, happy to do this again now as champions. Last season we did it as just fans, but we're doing it as champs. How's your off season been for you?
Man, it's really good, man. What you gotta say? It's been one of those seasons where I haven't really had anything to bother about. There's literally no worries. I've just been enjoying football in different aspects. We've had the World Cup, some of the preseason games. I've had the opportunity to check a lot of preseason games, and I mean, doing it from the high tables, it kind of feels different, right? So I've been enjoying it. I can't lie. Been enjoying it. Looking forward to the next season. I mean, we're just 7 days away.
Yeah, about a week away.
Yeah,
you're going to lose us. You're at the risk of losing us subscribers and followers because there's some people are advocating to boycott the channel, bro.
I mean, if they've had the opportunity to come at you for so many years, I mean, they should be able to take just 1 year now. I mean, just 1 year. Come on now. Shout out, man. Shout out. It feels good to be a champ. Hope you guys get to feel it again someday. So, yeah, man. By the way, we've not even, I mean, you know what we're referring to now. First of all, we're talking about those 14 and counting, but I mean, we should start, we didn't even get into this episode well. We should give ourselves our normal, what up, Chan? How you doing, Chan?
I'm good, my guy.
I like to hear that. I like to see my fellow champions good, man.
I think I feel so bad for a lot of people. I think this season is going to be crazy. I think for me, this is going to be my most enjoyable season. Yes. And we haven't even kicked the ball yet. I'm going to enjoy it, watching it without any pressure, just chilling to see how everybody's getting along. I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but we know you had guests recently and they had texted the group chat and said, you guys need to be worried about what Samco has on this table in his The guy was using your office, right? It was in your office and he saw the notes and the preparation. I say, yeah, it's going to be a long season.
The guy say, I say sorry for those. But so you have to be prepared, right? A lot of the time, when we speak about what we speak on here and our group chats and everything, sometimes I think people think we're just talking for talking sake, right? It's sometimes when I see you and someone having your back and forth in terms of debating whatever aspect of football. Sometimes I just laugh because I'm just if only they know the work this guy has done. He's not just talking for talking sake, right?
Yeah.
So love the game is what we do now. So
yeah, love it, man. Yeah, let's jump in, man. It's like I said, we're back for season 2. Lots of really exciting stuff that we have planned, not just for the podcast, but for Lounge 11. We're really trying to grow this thing. And let's talk about you. You started the transfer room, which is doing really well, and you've been really consistent with it, bringing us all the latest updates from the transfer window, because I know that's a big industry in itself. A lot of fans get so caught up in the transfer season, who is signing who, the speculations. And so you're bringing all of us the latest updates, and you've also introduced the BOMBA.
BOMBA.
So we'll touch on that for a bit. What made you start that, and how have you seen that going?
I mean, so far it's been good. I'm enjoying it, even if I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to the transfer window because of the ups and downs and how it takes fans on a crazy merry-go-round. But for me, one thing I've noticed during this time of the window is it gets fans very excited. And for those people that follow X, or since the technologies of internet have come into football, we see how hard fans get about transfers. Not even just transfers, we're talking about rumors. For example, we can use that of Vinny. When David Ornstein dropped, Arsenal were exploring those deals. You could see how
people ate that up, man.
They literally ate that up.
They ate that up.
Literally, they went gung ho on that. So at the end of the day, like not all of us, a lot of us were working as well with whatever side things we have to do. So just the idea where you can put everything or summarize everything in a short video for people where we don't know how your day has gone. If you're driving home or you're just on the internet and between 5, 10, 15 minutes, I can try and just summarize what has happened on that day or within the last 2 days. So that was more of the idea about doing that transfer room. And that of the bomber is a little bit of just trying to see if I can add a little bit of fun to it, right? Like transfers that I would say are very heavy or very big. I think
Yeah,
it's something we can just try out and see how that goes. And so far the feedback has been positive to be honest. And yeah, it takes time to just, go in, get it recorded, put it out at the same time. Again, we're busy. We have so many things that we're doing. But so far I've been enjoying it and looking forward to getting that done for at least another few weeks till the transfer window is over. We'll see what else we can do with that. But so far, good, good, good.
definitely. Look, I enjoy it, man. And, I enjoy it as a fan because I see
Yeah,
it. People don't realize I see it also as a fan. You record it, you post it, and I go on YouTube and I see the new ones just like
yeah,
everybody else. And it's like, that's how I'm also, staying in touch with things because I'm not the biggest transfer rumor. I don't even get involved, didn't get involved in the Vinny sweepstakes, but the bomber definitely gets my attention and it's been fun. And I think, like I said, those are some of the things that we're going to be bringing. I think we're going to try and do more live events. We had a few over the World Cup, and we're going to try and do more especially for like marquee games, like the
no
really
key
big
games. Yes.
games that get
Yeah.
people going. So I think it's a lot of really exciting things. We're shooting some, like I said, documentaries. We can't wait to share one really special one with you guys when it's
Yeah.
ready. Hopefully that drops this weekend. But it's gonna be fun. Looking forward to that. So yeah, Lounge 11 changing, we're evolving, not just podcasts, but trying to bring media content across all of the platforms. So stay tuned for that, man.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some of the football stuff. Maybe we'll just kind of dive in very briefly because this just came in fresh off the press. Jeff Bezos leads a team or a group of people that are acquiring a minority stake or a big enough stake, actually. I think it's 30% that's been reported um, in Liverpool. Now, I don't have all of the exact details just yet, but, it seems like it's a sizable enough acquisition, bring some investment on and off the pitch, I would imagine, for Liverpool. Maybe we could just talk about the game. The game is obviously evolving, by seeing record numbers being spent to acquire sports teams, not just in football, but across all sports. What do you think this means, right? Now that you're having some of the wealthiest people in the world really step in and buy
Yeah.
these teams.
Yeah. It's funny because I look at it because if you look at the Premier League now, majority of not just the clubs in the Premier League, but also the big clubs in the Premier League are now being acquired by American investors, owners,
Yeah,
and whatnot,
yeah.
right? So that's something that has caught my eye a little bit more. That a lot of these guys who some people might look at it and say they're not so much involved in that particular sport itself, but whether you like it or not, they are involved in the sport now. They are making a big move for the Premier League, and I think so many changes are coming to the Premier League. What exactly it is, we don't know yet, because the minute these guys have majority of the Premier League, the FA or whoever it is that is in charge, you guys are going to have to budge. So I think I'm more excited about what changes these guys are going to bring. And it's very interesting. Like, you think about it, Liverpool is owned by, what are they called? Is it Fenway Sports?
Fenway
Fenway,
Sports
right?
Group.
And
Yeah.
now they've had Bezos coming to do some collaboration with them. So again, you have Chelsea being run by an American group, Arsenal an American group, Manchester United an American group, Liverpool an American group. So when you look at the top 5 teams right now in the Premier League, 4 of them are already being run by an American group. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a good move for them. And where does that take Liverpool? We do not know, because with the Americans, you just never can tell. Everything is all about telemarketing, is about making money, everything is all about the funds, right? So I guess down the line, we'll tell to see if this has been a good move for Liverpool. But may I take a look at it more on like a broader spectrum in terms of what changes that he's going to bring to the league. So just can't wait.
I think in the short term, it doesn't do much for Liverpool other than
Yes.
raise the profile, right? Obviously, when you have buyers like Jeff Bezos coming in, it raises the profile of Liverpool. But the reason I say it doesn't do much in the short term is the Premier League and UEFA still have very strict
Strong hold.
rules as
Yeah.
to how, money flows into the game. You still have the SCR and all of those different things that play a role. So
Yeah.
it's not like Jeff Bezos, even though he's one of the wealthiest guys in the world, can now just pour in an extra billion just for the fun of it, like we used to see in the Roman Abramovich era. But I think if you step if you step back for a bit, what it does do for sports ownership, it's changing the profile of owners. Back in the day, it used to be like a wealthy billionaire in the,
Yeah.
4 billion, 5 billion net worth. You can buy a club for half a billion or whatever. And it's a pet project. And, and then you can be more passionate about it. Like Roman, for example, spent so much money in Chelsea. He didn't care whether it was a money making venture or not. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah. He was more
now
into it. Yeah.
I think those kind of owners are done, right? Once the Kroenkes and maybe the Glazers step away for a bit, I think they're probably the last Mohicans when you think about it, right? Because if the acquisition cost for a sports team or, I think Liverpool is reported as somewhere between 6 to 8 billion that the valuation went to. That is, I think, what is going to start. That's like the new ceiling, if you want to put it that, or at least maybe the floor for the top teams.
Exactly. I
If
think that's where
Arsenal's
it's going. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so the kind of people that are going to buy them now are going to be like VCs, private equities, and those
Equities.
kind of
Yeah.
people are not really, they're trying to maximize value. You see that with
Value.
Chelsea, they start doing all
Yeah.
sort of stuff, right? So, it's
I
an
mean, look at
interesting
how they
time.
built the NFL and all that, the NBA
Yeah.
team, NFL team. So
Right.
definitely that's where this is going to, I think.
The funny thing is, as you know, and for our listeners, especially the ones that are new, I like to reintroduce myself. I'm Femi here, one of the co-hosts of Lounge 11, and I am also a United owner. And so as soon as the news was announced, I went to check what happened to United because I expected it to move. And, in the last week, United has been up 11% as of the time of recording.
In the
It
last
makes
week.
sense in the last week. It makes sense, right? Because the only reason we can get exposure to that is because they're publicly traded. I think the
Traded. Yeah.
intrinsic value of a club like United is closer to 10 billion. But if you look at that on the open market today, it's about 4 billion, right? And that's just because we can trade the direction daily. But I think seriously, if United is ever up for sale, like a complete sale, not the type that
It's
would,
not going to happen. It's
yeah,
not.
but I'm saying if it did
Yeah.
happen,
Yeah.
right? I don't think it's going to be anything less than $8 billion at this
Yeah.
point.
It's so funny you mentioned the percentage, like you said, last week. And it just took me back to a few years ago when a lot of those fans were hoping and thinking the Glazers were going to sell. And I remember you and me, those calls, we kept telling
Yep.
them, like, what is the incentive for the
Yep.
Glazers to sell Manchester United? Like, if you can't tell me an incentive for them to sell, I'm not a billionaire. So imagine a billionaire that owns Manchester United. What
One
are
of
the
the best assets in the
like
world.
one of the best? What incentive do you think those guys are going to sell?
Yeah.
Because you as fans are not happy, then stay in line. These guys
Yeah.
don't care about your happiness, man. They don't
Go
care about your
figure. Go
happiness.
figure. Yeah, man. No, but we'll continue to monitor the situation. Clubs are also coming up for sale. I know Leicester recently announced that they're trying to sell as well. Who knows what happens with Newcastle, with all the divestment that is going on. I'm sure next week we'll spend some more time talking about transfers and what teams have done. But
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of switch gears a little bit and go into something that we've all watched. I think if you're a football fan, you've kind of followed the story. When it came out, I couldn't wait to get home to watch the documentary. I watched it all in one day, one sitting, which is, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
José Mourinho documentary on Netflix. I really, really enjoyed it. It was obviously an up for all of those years, but you come to really appreciate what he means for the game. And it was interesting to relive some of those things that we all watched growing up. But What was your initial take with the documentary?
To be honest, I think it's one of the best football documentaries I've watched. Something that just focused on a manager, especially. Jose Mourinho is just one of those characters that gives a lot of this love and hate relationship to a lot of football fans across the world, right? Especially
Right.
growing up watching football when I was much younger. I can definitely come out and say I wasn't a Jose Mourinho fan, but the more I watch the game and the more I hear him speak and how he saw football, he definitely changed my mind about a lot of things coming in regards to football. And watching this documentary was so informative that I literally just saw Jose Mourinho and I was like, okay, a lot of the things that I think about you, or if someone told me to describe who Jose Mourinho was, that documentary literally showed me exactly the way I saw that guy. Like, he's just someone who's he loves the game. He's very addicted to the game. You know, sometimes we'll talk about the Arsene Wenger's, the Pep Guardiolas that you think, or a lot of us felt like football took over their life. I felt that about Jose Mourinho, and this documentary literally like brought that back up again. And his strong personality and his ability to do things his own way and how he wanted to get things done. I think that was one of the things I also did like about him. But to be a good or great manager in this game, again, you have to have this type of characters. So I think it was a very for a 3 hour documentary, I think a lot of information was put into there, a lot of things that some people wouldn't know or would never have
Right.
imagined were all crammed into that 3 hours. And it was so good. One of the outstanding part to me, I remember when he talked about accepting the Manchester United job in 2013, which was right after Sir Alex
That
Ferguson.
was new,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was like, if you think about it, that rumor never came out
Never came out.
at
It never
any
came out.
point up until this
Yeah.
documentary that he
Right.
had accepted to take the job and then turned it down because he was going to go back to Chelsea and all that stuff. The other part that stood out to me was when he won the Champions League with Inter Milan and he didn't stay behind to do the celebration. You know, the way they do their parade and it. So,
Yeah.
because he had already made that decision to go to Real
To
Madrid.
leave. Right.
And if you remember, there was a point he said Perez had literally brought a contract for him to sign the night before the final because they didn't want him to change his mind. But he was like, no, I need to focus on this. He got the job done. And he literally still said, I gave him my word. I'm going to it. Because if you remember, there was something he mentioned there. If you remember the clip when he came down from the car, went to go hug. There was a guy that was standing and then he went back into the car. He said the reason he didn't go for that parade or that celebration was because he felt they were going to change his mind. And I could see how that definitely could have happened when you get, because Mourinho is a guy that thrives on fan love,
Right.
like a club that backs him to the core. And if you think about it, I think Inter Milan is one of those few clubs. Yes, a lot of people will say Chelsea, but I think Inter Milan is one of those few clubs that Mourinho had control, love, support from the club, the fans. Like I can't remember ever there being anything negative of his time at Inter Milan. It was
Yep.
always positive from the get go. And I think it was there, what, 2, 3 years? I think it was 2 years actually.
They
Two or
were,
three
yeah.
years. Yeah. And he
I
literally
don't remember.
achieved
Yeah.
everything and got the job done. Boom. And then the next or the third thing that stuck with me was Jose Mourinho needs worries. Like, I think a lot of managers, they love talent and everything, but Jose Mourinho knows when you're willing to die on the pitch, when you're willing to give your everything for that football that he believes in, he gives you 1,000% trust. And you could see it in some players, like they adore and respect this man so much. And at the same time, you see the issues he had with Casillas at Real Madrid. And you can see if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to be that warrior for Jose Mourinho, you're going to have problems. And we know
I
that
think that's why he has struggled in the later part
in
of
the later
his
part of
career
his
because
career
the
now.
the
Yes,
profile of footballers,
have
unfortunately
changed.
or fortunately, depending on what side of the fence you are, they've changed, right? You know, these footballers now are big profiles, big personalities. It's kind of hard to make an example of someone if you yourself aren't like one of the top guys in today's world. Like, you know, these are essentially like some of the things we heard in the documentary, right? You know, Castella's coming up and saying they need to training to move a certain
That
kind of
was
time.
crazy though.
But think about it, like it's because we don't hear about it now, but players have just sort of, especially if you're in a big profile club, I think that's where, or you see, okay, like something that stood out to me was John Terry talking about he was injured, but if he didn't play, he would have been basically sidetracked by
Mm-hmm.
Mourinho. Today, players are choosing themselves. They have all the data, right? They know when they're in the red zone or not in the red zone. Nobody's taking no freaking needle to play as if it's not a Champions League final or some kind of big game or something like that, you know? So I think, and I'm really curious to see how he manages all of these profiles now in Real
Now,
Madrid.
yeah,
But it was an interesting documentary. I thought there was like he definitely took the opportunity to write the story that he wanted people to
that he
remember.
wanted people to
You know,
remember.
the Chelsea doctor thing was unfortunate, you know, and reliving that again was even like, oh my God,
I
Mourinho
think that
just,
part I didn't like that part though. Like
yeah,
you had
yeah,
to relive it again. Yeah, that was. I think that
yeah.
was really part of the documentary. I didn't really. I think they could have left it out,
Well,
but
I think
it
it's
makes
hard not to,
sense.
yeah, it's hard not to
Yeah, it
tell
makes
it, but
sense.
I think what I'd love to see more from him is more of like with time, right?
You should have looked
Time
back
gives you
and said it
perspective.
exactly. Yeah,
Right. And so with the perspective of time, you should be able to kind of look back and be like, you know what?
I
I
got that
also
one
could have
wrong.
handled things a little bit
Yeah,
differently.
yeah.
He seemed like he kind of doubled
He
down, like
doubled
talk
down on
about
it.
football
Yeah,
people. And it's a bit unfortunate because that's a medical professional. And I'm
yeah.
sure she's bound by, you know, her medical responsibilities to do what she did, you know. And I think a lot of us didn't even see we knew something happened. Obviously, we saw what happened whenever, like years ago. But for me, this was the first time I was hearing the audio of
Okay. Yeah, the audio part. Yes, yes,
the
yes.
audio, and I
This
was like,
was a
man,
first.
you're actually berating this woman
This
because
woman,
she
literally in
went to
front
go
of
and treat like
everybody. Yeah,
because she went to go treat like a
she
player
wants to
that
do her
you
job.
know she went to do a job.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, what else did I like about the documentary? I think it was interesting that he completely omitted Tottenham from. I don't know. Did it, I don't think he mentioned Tottenham at any point.
Yeah, because I noticed that between Tottenham and Fenerbahce, but I can't remember Fenerbahce too much because I remember there was a
Yeah.
part where they showed him at Benfica or taking the Benfica job and everything. So I don't know if Fenerbahce was there, but I found out as well surprising that he didn't like there was nothing about Tottenham as well because I believe where was he before he came to Tottenham? That was after he left. Was he United?
Yes, he had left
Yes, he
United
had
and went
left
to yeah.
United before he went to yeah. So it was quite shocking that he literally just like cut that out.
Skipped it. Yeah.
The only thing he said about Spurs, correct me if I'm wrong, was about the final where he said
He said the
we got
final.
a
Yeah,
final and then they fired
yeah,
him. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because I think if you're telling the story, you got to tell the complete
you have to
story,
tell the
right? You
complete
know,
story
like
exactly.
it almost seemed like they positioned it as a lot of winning, and to be fair to
Mm-hmm.
him, he won a lot, so there's
Yeah,
obviously going to be more bias towards winning. But I think it's important to hear about how you handled the losses as well, right? Because we never like. I'm sure he would have been disappointed to not have had the chance to coach Spurs to a final. I think the same way he talked about the grudges that he had against Roman Abramovich would have been nice to see how he felt about Daniel Levy in those situations too. Um, the Pep Guardiola thing I think was interesting as well, like the rivalry that they had. You know, it's very interesting. I mean, I do agree to some extent that that Real Madrid team ended the years of dominance that Barcelona had, but you know, it almost seems characterized in a different way too. Like
I
I
got
think
that
that
from the documentary as well because it was put in a spotlight where it's like they stopped the dominance and they took over.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that didn't really, yeah, that wasn't really the story about it because I
yeah.
remember checking when I was watching that part. I was like, didn't this guy win just the league and one of the cups or something. So I had to go check it again just to be sure. And I was like, okay,
same.
nice way to spin the story. So yeah.
But to be fair, it's not like it's like one of those semantic
Or
kind of
narrate.
things.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I'm
it's
trying
like
to say. Yeah,
because Barcelona up until that point were really busting things. So if you're talking about stopping the dominance as you buck the trend, right?
But,
You got in the middle of that, and sure, that is correct. But I think after that, if I remember, Barcelona went on to win a little bit more as well, right?
Yeah.
So it almost doesn't tell the complete story, but credit to him, it was fun. I think we need stuff like that. Managers,
I really
these days
enjoyed it, to be honest. Yeah.
I want managers like those what are the personalities in today's game?
And that's it. That's the thing that I know I always liked about José Mourinho from time. He had that personality. He had that make is the word personality.
I loved it. I loved
that. And he installed it in his players, especially in Chelsea, sometimes in Real Madrid, but you saw it more in his first Chelsea when it was literally.
Well, that Chelsea was
it was like
mirrored him. The DNA of Jose Mourinho.
The word, yes. That's one thing about Jose Mourinho that I always like. He never really cared about what people had to say about him, his style of football or anything. All he cared about was winning. And all I need to win are my Warriors. As long as you're with me, that was all he cared
I wasn't a big fan, obviously, in his Chelsea days for obvious reasons as an Arsenal fan. But I think in hindsight, or at least after he left, I think one of the things that's clear is I didn't really like him much because you see a bit of yourself in him. You're competitive, you want to win, and unfortunately, this guy's on the other side was just dogging you guys every now and then. But you get to appreciate him like now that you see the story that man, this guy just cared about winning, didn't care about any of the pretty stuff. I found it interesting when Kadera was talking about how they handled Messi. It's like, look, we spent 40 minutes.
Like 3 minutes talking about everything. The next is just all about Messi.
We're here to make life uncomfortable. And, Mourinho actually alluded to that as well in the documentaries. Like, we can't beat these people doing what they do. So if we have to rough them up, if we have to get in their heads. And so when you hear the story now, it makes sense. Some of the petulant stuff that he was doing with Guardiola at the time, like Guardiola, man, I have to
the assistant manager, he made things uncomfortable. And it's like when they hired him now for this next season, that was the same mindset I have. Like they just brought this guy to make Barcelona a little bit uncomfortable.
You saw that too, right?
Yeah, that's why. That's why I feel they brought him back this time. Barcelona are getting a little bit comfortable again. And we just want to make
I think so. I think so. Before we move on from that, actually, that's a good point because I think that like last season, I thought Barcelona are going to do this thing again. But now seeing the moves that they've made, some of the players that they brought in, I think it could go any one of two ways. Like it can all come together, or we can have a Mourinho type third season kind of vibe with all the personalities there. But you've seen the players that they've signed. They've signed some workhorses. They've signed some warriors, right? Which there are some players there that have signed. You can see this is for sure a Mourinho player when you look at those guys, right? So having said that, what do you think about the players that they've brought in and their chances next season?
I mean, when you look at the players that they've brought in, a lot of them are very Jose Mourinho type of players. You look at Bernardo Silva, you look at Dumfries, you look at Cucurella, you look at who's the other person they brought? Konate. But of all of them, I'm only impressed by one. And that's Cucurella.
Which one?
Cucurella.
I love Cucurella for them.
Literally. I love Cucurella. When they signed him, I said, yes, I see it. Like, I literally see him walking.
You don't see Dumfries either.
Dumfries is a Jose Mourinho type of, but I don't see him making a difference. Like I see for Cucurella. Right? And again, they are just warriors. But when you look at today's football, like, man, there's a lot of coaching that goes into the way a lot of teams play these days. If you like, you can have as much stars and Galácticos and fighters that you want. There are just some games that some people will just have you running around the entire field. And I still look at Barcelona as that's why I said when I look at all the signings, I don't think they've done anything that tips them over Barcelona, because this title is always going to be between two of them most of the time. But when I see Barcelona doing everything they can to bring in Rodri, if that deal should happen, nothing has changed for me.
I mean, that would tell me everything. So I need to see that. But I'm not convinced. You know, I was 80-20 before. Now I'm more like 60-40 Barcelona.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm 60-40
I haven't seen
Barcelona.
anything that will make me say, okay, Real Madrid, because
tips the skills, yeah.
Tips the scale, yeah. Cucurella is the only guy that like can come out and say, yes, this guy for sure like does something good. The players are definitely going to make, like you see that a classical, we're going to see what we have been used to.
Oh, that's going to be tasty, bro.
Just say this,
that
exactly.
is going to be.
But when they play the other teams, when they play in the Champions League, again, we've seen this Real Madrid team with a lot of egos that they have. Now we're talking about Mbappé, we're talking about Vinicius Juniors, we're talking about Jude Bellingham and whatnot. Yes, everybody's going to look like they're on the same page on day one. But you know how, and let's not forget, there's still a lot of heat and uncertainties in Real Madrid that we don't even know about. Perez has been moving very strange this most part of the year. So all it takes is just one little thing to go off, and we don't know where that's going to land to, right? So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But as things stand, if I was to bet any money on who takes that league, I still think Barcelona is still the better team.
I think so, but I'll be touching that with a very long
wait
till
the transfer window.
I think about what Barcelona has done. I mean, Lewandowski wasn't really, I don't think it was lighting up the charts last season. I don't remember what his stats were.
Yeah, he was injured a lot. Yeah.
Ferran Torres looks like he's out of the door, which I'm sure a lot of Barcelona fans are maybe happy to see him go. Rashford was a decent contributor. He's gone. Yeah. And now they've added Gordon, who is hit or miss, in my opinion. I don't know what he's going to be.
I have a feeling he does good there.
Because, I mean, it's La Liga.
Space, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's La Liga and stuff. I just have a feeling that.
But my point is, I don't know how much of an upgrade it is on like a Rashford.
But is it worse than Rashford?
That's my point. Is I think you swap one for the other.
Exactly. Right? So, yeah, like is it worse?
And then
say no.
That
I think all they need is a striker right now.
That Adeyemi guy, so far from the little I've seen,
I think that's a Ferran replacement. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's going to be Yamal and him sometimes, or Yamal and Rafinha will be right. Then you also have Rafinha Godon that can play off the left. Adeyemi can also play off the left. But then again, the striker is where they're missing. So it's like, what happens with the striker? But they want to push someone like Godon to play false nine there, or play Rafinha there, or even their Adeyemi boy there. You just never know. But I think they will still get a striker this window. Who exactly, we don't know. So we'll wait and see.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely going to be interesting to monitor. I think as we kind of get to the end of the bombas and transfer window alerts, we'll have a clearer picture of what every team is shaping up to be. Looking here, what else do we have on our agenda? You know, we've talked about Mourinho. I think we might as well move on to like the big game coming up this weekend. What do you think?
Oh boy, the Community Shield. To be honest, I don't have any expectations for this game. And the reason I don't have expectations for this game is I have seen most of our game. The last one against Como, I didn't really see much. I've tried to watch it a couple of times while I'm working and haven't been able to. But the thing I noticed with our preseason this year is Mikel has focused more on fitness. Because in the past 2 years, again, followed our preseason. And sometimes I notice a style of play we're trying to change, or there's something we're trying to adopt. I've not noticed that this season, because all Mikel has done is literally he's giving everybody 20 minutes on the field. Like in a half, he can do like 3 subs. at 3 different times in the first half, second half, same thing. So I've noticed his focus more on like the preseason, trying to get people back to fitness. And when you look at his press conferences or interviews that he's had so far, he's always tried to like make that point known that right now it's all about getting the boys back to fitness. Some of the guys that came in during the preseason, some that came in from the World Cup and all that. So there is nothing I have to go from. I don't know if they are already focused on the type of football they want to play this season, but he hasn't, or they haven't been able to put that on the field just because nobody's really playing for a long time, right? So I really don't know what to expect because this is another game I'm looking forward to seeing the likes of Subimendi, Rice, Saka. They've not had any minutes this preseason. So I can see him giving them some minutes as well to get involved. The likes of Bruno Guimaraes that we just signed had a 20-minute spell last game. Who else? Odegaard has gotten maybe 2 or 3 20 minutes so far this preseason. You look at the defenders, Gabriel has had around the same minutes with Odegaard. Martinelli has had around the same minutes. So it's literally players that have been or that didn't go to the World Cup that we've seen more during this preseason. So there's really nothing that I have going into the game. So I think it's just going to be another day out for them to just put some minutes in and get ready for next week. Because it's literally our only game left before the season starts. So
Okay.
I have no expectations, to be honest.
I have none either because, like I said, I haven't seen any of the games except I think I caught the last 25, 30 minutes of the Como game because I realized it was on YouTube. So I just played it,
Yes.
while I was working or whatever. But I was very surprised to see the news that Rice, Saka, those guys that went deep into the tournament came back really early, because I personally wasn't expecting to see them before the start of the season or at least feature. So that was pretty cool to see. I don't want another season like this season, and I want to win, right? But I don't. The season where the summer is disrupted because your players go so deep into the tournament, and it's unfortunate because given how good we are, given the teams that our players play for, it is very likely that this is going to happen. You would expect Spain to go far in the tournaments. You would expect England to be in the final stages of the tournament. France will be there or thereabouts. Obviously, Brazil, they can get their acts together. Now we're concentrated. We have two, maybe three. We have three, maybe two, depending on what happens with players like Martinelli. So it's now kind of this cost of doing business where you're going to now see players coming in. It doesn't help that you have players coming in literally a week before the season starts. So we put all that together. I'm with you. I don't really have much of an expectation for this game. But having said that,
Yeah.
having said that, I have to move like Cham do. The trauma days are over. Actually, I never had them because even when we hadn't won, I was talking like I've been here before. But yeah, I think Man City probably feels some of the same things too. I haven't seen any of their games to know how well they've done, but Man City is always going to be Man City. They have standards of winning. They've been here too before. So I expect it to be a really tough game. Both managers are talking the talk. They see it as a serious trophy. They want to win. And I think they're going to set up to do just that. But I'm going with an Arsenal win. And just to kind of set the marker that's our star do.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that would be my prediction. I've seen what 2, maybe 3 of City's games. They've all been very early because of where they flew out. So I think they were in Hong Kong most of their preseason. So a lot of their games are like literally slipping in and out. But I think players like Semenyo have definitely been the standard players for them this preseason. So I think even what's his name, Haaland came back on Monday or Tuesday as well to training. So again, most teams, I think they're just going to try and get as much minutes they can in terms of fitness to beat themselves for next week. But I definitely will be going with an Arsenal win as well. But if I'm being honest, again, I'm just more of saying, like I said, the guys who have already got minutes build everything towards next Friday because that's where 3 points start counting. But again, there's another plate on the table, so we'll grab it.
This is another play. The funny thing is, I actually don't even know who's left on the Man City team, and I'm being disingenuous because I'm sure
What do
they
you
have
mean
the
left?
bulk on it. I know they have the bulk, but when you think about it, Rodri's likely out.
Rodri is out, yeah.
Bernardo Silva is gone.
Silva is gone. They
It just
sold
seems like they're
Tottenham.
depleted, but when you think about it, they still have play like Tijani Reinders is gone.
Who's gone, yeah. Doku.
Who else?
Actually, not seeing Doku in their preseason, if I'm being honest, actually.
Interesting.
It's actually strange because Belgium were knocked out pretty early. I know
At least
Gehi
earlier.
just returned. Yeah, I know Gehi just returned.
Okay. Gay. They still have a strong team.
Yeah, I've seen Diaz, I've seen Vardiol, I've seen Matheus Nunes, O'Reilly just returned, Anderson as well just returned from. So I think the guys that returned this week were Anderson, Gehi, Haaland, O'Reilly. Who else? Because they don't really have. Okay, Turkey. I think Turkey.
I mean, what did that one do at the World Cup? Like,
so
should have been back. It should have been back right after the England.
So literally,
game.
they all have about 2 weeks. Some of them have one game. Like,
man, that is
Saka, Rice,
crazy.
Literally have one game before the season starts. One game, and they are not going to get more than 30 minutes on Sunday.
I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. I don't want to. This is why I was hoping and praying that England got knocked out early because it's ridiculous, man. It is actually ridiculous. A couple weeks ago,
Raya just got back.
Yeah, well, Ryan get no minutes, and so he should have been back as soon as he finished lifting the trophy. He should be on the flight back.
These guys have been training too. They need to put.
No, I know, but yeah, I really hope that we don't. Is there a tournament next summer? There is, right?
It's just a Nations Cup.
There's no year. When is the Euros? 28.
Euros should be the Euros was what last year.
Yeah, but knowing UEFA,
there's no way there's Euros in 2027.
No, I don't think it's 27. I'm hoping it's
yes, 28. I think
28. 28.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm sure there'll be Nations League or some stuff that they come up with, man. Like,
they will. Because
I just want these guys to have some breaks, man.
You know what's funny? Because I and KD were talking, and this year the international break that happens right after the transfer window shuts, and
it's all together, right?
They're bringing them together now. So everyone is going to play for next week, and I think September 10th or 19th. I just hope and pray like you have like the English guys, for example. I hope managers like Tuchel say, you guys that went to the World Cup, this is an extra 2-3 weeks for you guys to just chill on ice. You don't really need to be, because that international break is on a full month as well. So
I just want Mikel to do what he does.
What he does, man. Sit there,
just little something
because
like.
You know what the international break is about. I don't know if it's friendly or I don't know if it's a Nations League.
I don't care what it's about, man.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
Especially friendlies, then please, man, just these managers should just let these players. Let me check. Yeah, there's Nations League. Yeah, there's Nations League in the next international break, which is in September.
All right, man. I want to do something fun I don't know if it's fun. I hope it is, that I'm looking to introduce this season as part of our revamp and all the different things that we have coming. This segment is called the First 11. This is where when we have big games like this one, or we have guests, we want to kind of play this First 11 game where, between these two teams, if you had to pick 11 out of the available players today, what players make your 11 combined?
So
11
we're going everybody fit or based on what is available right now?
You know what? Let's go everybody fit. Let's make it interesting. How about that?
Yeah. Everybody fit. So my 11, I'm definitely going with Raya for sure. Left back, I would go with Vadio. Centre back pairing, Vadio O'Reilly. Yeah, I think I'll go with Vadio. Centre back pairing, I'm definitely going with Saliba and Gabriel. Right back, that's tough, man. Timber and Nunes, that's very tough. But I think I'll go Timber. Midfield, for sure, Declan Rice in the 6. That's hard. 2 more spots in the 6 is Rice. Who do I play on the 8? Because between Anderson, you know what? I'll play Rice, Anderson, and Bruno Guimaraes. Left wing Semenyo. Up top, Haaland. Right wing Saka.
It's a good one. I can get on board with that. I'm not changing Raya for anybody.
Yeah.
I'm keeping Gabriel and Saliba just like you have. Timber is not even that difficult for me. When fit, I think he's the best right back in the league. Left back is interesting. I like your Guardiola call. I've never really seen him as a left back, but he's operated there.
Yeah.
Calafiori is never really fit. I can consider. I don't even know if Guardiola is the one I'll pick. Based on what I saw last season, I like Nico, whatever.
Yeah, Nico Raleigh for sure was very good, yes.
Yeah, so I'll reward him. I'll keep him there. Like, I think he was really good last season. So that would be the back 5. The midfield is not that tricky to me. I would definitely have Rice and Bruno Guimaraes in there. Rodri, I don't know if we still consider him a City player. If he is, then sure. I think it kind of picks himself.
I actually didn't consider him still a City player. That's why I went to avoid him now.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but what did you pick?
I did Anderson, Bruno, Rice. But if Rodri is fit, I'm dropping Anderson.
That's a safe choice for sure.
If Rodri is still there, definitely is Rodri, Rice, and Bruno.
Yeah, I'm going to assume Rodri is still there just for the purpose of this. Maybe by the next time they play each other, that would change for me. But yeah, I'm going with... No, but then the only disagreement we have right now is Nico and you have Guardiola.
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah.
Who's in City's midfield? So it's Anderson.
Right now it's going to be Anderson. They still have Turkey. I don't know what they are going to do. Nico. Reinders has been sold. They still have Kovacic. I think that's about it.
I'm taking Turkey over Anderson because the other two approximate what I think I'll get from Anderson. So yeah, that's it for me.
Why I don't care much about Turkey is Saka and Semenyo. I'll leave them to do that creative work.
Well, you know, they're not. This team is actually not going to go play anything. So it's not like there is a game with it. So I have to design it in the most realistic. Like, I don't think there's a better creative midfielder across both teams or between both teams, right? So I can't not have him. Like, so Turkey will be my pick, and then I agree with your front 3. I don't want to. It's too early for my, Arsenal craziness.
Which one were you going to do before?
Zolis is kind of like something that would...
Zolis. Just sense Zolis. Yeah, I love Zoli too. I'm a big fan, especially what I've seen this preseason. The one thing I can say I took from his preseason is that boy is a dead ball specialist. Like, Mikel literally added another guy that just knows how to throw the ball into the box. Like,
I saw that penalty that he took, bro.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous.
Like,
so
who is this gunman, man? That guy, it's like he was trying to tear the net.
It was crazy.
Which is what I like, man. I like proper, all that sort of stuff. Bro, what are you going to do about Nani for me, man?
I have nothing to do with Nani. That's a Yo and Komi and K's problem, bro. I found out from that guy a long time ago, so I'm not... From the first day he signed, I've never been on board with that guy, man. And sometimes I feel bad about it, but...
Remember the first few games of last season? Was it the first few games when Nani came in and we started talking about the questions that were coming up? People saying is Saka going to get his shirt back, Man, yeah, anyway.
But yeah, I saw a stat last season in the Premier League that Saka had 7 and 10 in the Premier League.
No, no, don't do that now because you're gonna give me more ammo for this season that is coming up. My champ
Check,
had 7 and 10.
check. I might
Uh,
be wrong, except it's seven
you
and
better
six.
be wrong. For the sake of everybody involved, you better be wrong. 7 and 6. Yeah, 10 is
Seven and
crazy,
six.
bro.
Oh, okay, 7 and 6 then.
But
Yeah.
even at 7 and 6, I'm still gonna.
Once that guy missed out last season.
No one. Let me
Yeah,
just tell you the
seven
truth.
and six.
No one's buying that. He played 31 games, so it doesn't matter how many months.
Yeah.
He had 31 appearances, so we have to hold that one.
Which
But 7 and 6 is decent still.
31 appearances from where? Coming from the bench, playing 20 minutes here
But he
and there
had
with 3 months.
no, bro.
That's what
See,
I'm
let
saying.
me tell you,
Even when I saw the numbers, I was like, I didn't even know he had those type of numbers last season.
the game is the game, bro.
Of course, now the
Because
game is a game.
I'm going to use this baseline to address a few people this season. Some people paid
A man with a plan.
millions. Yeah.
A
Oh,
man with a
don't.
plan.
Yeah, come on now. But yeah, there's a few teams that we're keeping our eyes out for this season, and we'll be monitoring them very, very closely, and we'll wish them all the best. Otherwise, we'll be here talking about it. But it's been fun, man. Good catching up. Really exciting stuff. All the work you guys are doing at Lounge 11. Oh, us guys.
We appreciate it. We appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to show the people some of the things we've been working on. But yeah, man. All the best. This weekend will be fun. I'm sure we'll be catching up, man. If you get to set up a watch party, let me know. I'd love to tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. And I think the other thing we're going to mention is we're looking to do like the live streams that we did during the World Cup, and hopefully we can also have some people just join us while we're watching some of these games. It could be in the Champions League, it could be in the Premier League, but a lot of these big games, something we'll try to do, and definitely everyone is welcome to joining us and just having a good time while we're watching the games. So.
Yeah, I think KD actually mentioned that we should do one this weekend. So if we can't get it in person, I think we should definitely try and do it online. So I'm down for that. Yeah. Because I need somewhere to talk my shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think we can actually
go
do
off,
that.
man.
Yeah. They will definitely do that, yeah.
All right, bro. This is where I still pass the rock to you. This is season 2, first episode of you doing your thing. Bring us home, my bro.
Yeah, so thanks to everyone, man. We're looking forward to this season. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. Season 2, we're definitely aiming higher. So looking forward to interacting with everybody. Like, subscribe, share. Just show us the love you guys have been showing us in the past year. And we're going to do it. Championship edition, season 2.
No, that's right.
We got this.
All right, my guy. Have a good weekend. We'll
have a good one, champ. Bro,
yeah.
Come on, man. We should make this thing consistent, man. Have a good one, champ. Don't be broing me, man.
All right, my champ. All right, my champ.
I see you, champ. Please, my bro.